Welcome to the deep dive. Have you ever, dreamed of making your money work for you? Or maybe just finding a smart way to boost your earnings without needing a whole new career? Well, you're definitely not alone. Our mission today is to really dive into a whole stack of ideas on generating income. We're talking everything from quick side hustles to those more sort of passive income streams. We want to give you a clear roadmap of what's involved, the opportunities, and the stuff you absolutely need to watch out for.
That's right. And we'll really explore what passive actually means in practice. How much effort do some of these things really take? And what could building them mean for your financial goals, say, in the long run? The goal here is to equip you with the knowledge, really, to make informed decisions about your own journey towards, financial growth.
Okay, perfect. So let's start right at the beginning. Before we jump into all the exciting ways to make money, we need to get clear on the terms. What is the big difference between active income and passive income?
Okay, so at its core, active income is money earned directly from trading your time or your immediate effort, like my salary.
Exactly. Your salary, freelance income, gig work, commissions, tips. It's a direct exchange. You do the work, you get paid right then or soon after. The key is that your earnings are tied directly to your ongoing activity.
Got it.
Passive income, on the other hand, that's money you earn with ideally minimal active involvement after you've done the initial setup.
Okay, the after sounds important there.
It's crucial. The idea is for it to become, self-sustaining, but, and this is a big but, passive almost never means no work at all.
The catch.
Right. It usually demands significant upfront effort, maybe building something, or a substantial initial investment of money, or, often both. And even once it's set up, there's usually some ongoing monitoring or maintenance needed. It's really about leveraging that initial time or money investment to generate returns more continuously. Okay, so hearing that distinction, what really stands out to you listening? Are you maybe looking for that quick cash injection now, or are you thinking more about building something for the longer term, something that could eventually work for you? Let's maybe kick things off with ideas that can put money in your pocket relatively quickly. What most of us probably think of as side hustles.
Yeah.
These usually need direct effort.
Yeah.
But they can offer good returns fast.
Absolutely. And the world of side hustles is incredibly varied. A really common path is just selling items.
Like stuff you already have. Or making things.
Both, really. It could be upcycling furniture, personalizing clothes, maybe even fixing up old electronics, or creating and selling homemade things, candles, artwork, capes, maybe online or at local markets. The key thing is leveraging a skill or even just a passion you have to create something tangible people want.
Okay.
And beyond physical stuff, there's a huge demand for selling digital content. If you're good with a camera, you could license photos on stock sites.
Right.
Or maybe blogging, vlogging, building a social media presence. Once you have an audience, you can monetize that. Ads, affiliate links, or selling your own digital guides or templates. You create it once, potentially earn from it many times.
That makes a lot of sense. What about using your time in specific skills? Like service-based things?
Oh, yeah. That's a massive area. Service-based side hustles cover so much ground. Pet care is booming, dog walking, pet sitting.
Always see people walking dogs.
Exactly. Just need to be aware of local rules, like how many dogs you can walk at once. Same with childcare, like babysitting.
Yep.
Good hourly rates, but you really need strong references. Maybe a first aid course.
Makes sense. Safety first?
Definitely. Then if you have a car or bike, delivery and driver services are everywhere now. Quick way to earn, and you usually keep all your tips. Or something a bit different, peer-to-peer car sharing. Basically loaning your car out through a platform when you're not using it. You get a decent chunk of the rental fee.
Interesting. Didn't know that was a big thing.
It's growing. And if you're handy, DIY services, assembling furniture, gardening, cleaning, always in demand, can be pretty lucrative, actually. Though maybe think about public liability insurance for that.
Good point.
And then there are things like mystery shopping, getting paid to give feedback, or doing online surveys and focus groups. Not huge money usually, but it adds up. Finally, leveraging expertise, tutoring a subject you know well, or translating if you have language skills. Both can pay quite well per hour.
Wow, okay, so lots of options there.
Yeah, the main thing with side hustles is it's less about finding some magic money tree and more about effectively using what you already have, your skills, your time, even your stuff, to meet a need. The quick wins come from making that match efficiently.
That's a great summary for getting cash flow now. But thinking longer term, what about that income that really aims to be, passive, where your money starts doing the heavy lifting? That's investments, right?
Precisely. That's where we move into things like investments. Let's start with dividend stocks. The appeal is obvious, isn't it? Earning money just for owning shares. Companies, maybe like London Metric Property and Warehousing or Safe Store and Self-Storage, they often pay out a slice of their profits to shareholders.
And what kind of return are we talking?
Well, the average UK yield is often around 4% annually. But it's a big but again, dividends aren't guaranteed.
Yeah.
Companies can cut them, especially in tough times. And of course, the value of the shares themselves can go down. The key warning always applies. When investing, your capital is at risk. You may get back less than you put in.
Right. That warning seems to pop up everywhere with investing. So if picking individual stocks feels maybe too risky or just too much work for someone, what are the alternatives?
That's where things like mutual funds and index trackers come in. They're really appealing.
How do they work?
Well, with a mutual fund, professionals manage a whole basket of investments for you. An index tracker just aims to copy the performance of a market index, like the FTSE 100. They give you diversification instantly, usually with lower fees than actively managed funds. The income often still comes from the dividends of the stocks held within the fund, so similar risks apply, but spread out more.
Okay, diversification helps.
Yeah. And then there are investment trusts. They're a bit unique. They can actually hold back some of their income each year, up to 15% in reserve.
Why do they do that?
To smooth out the dividend payments to investors. So even if the market has a rough year, they might still be able to maintain an attractive payout using those reserves. Gives a bit more consistency. But again, performance depends on good management.
Interesting. What about things less tied to the stock market, like bonds?
Good question. Income bonds are basically loans you make to governments or corporations. In return, they promise to pay you regular interest.
Safer than stocks.
Generally considered less risky, yes, because the interest payment is usually mandatory, unlike dividends, which are optional. You might expect around 4% interest for decent quality corporate bonds, but there's always a small risk the company could default.
Okay. And the absolute safest?
That would be savings accounts. Near zero risk, insured up to a point, but usually the lowest potential return may be around 4% currently. Very safe, but slow growth.
Right. And what about this peer-to-peer lending thing? Sounds a bit different.
It is. Peer-to-peer, P2P lending platforms connect people who want to lend money directly with people or businesses who want to borrow. It cuts out the banks.
Potentially higher returns, then?
Potentially, yes, often higher than savings accounts. Some platforms even have auto-invict tools to spread your money across lots of loans. But, and this is crucial, it's high risk.
Why high risk?
The main risk is that the borrowers might not pay the money back. They could default. The warnings on these platforms are very clear. Don't invest unless you're prepared to lose money. You're unlikely to be protected if something goes wrong.
Wow, okay. That's a really important warning to heed. So, sticking with investments, property. Everyone talks about property for passive income. Is it really passive?
Property. It's interesting. Direct rental property, buy-to-let, is often described as kind of passive.
Kind of.
Yeah. Because while rent comes in, you've got the day-to-day management, dealing with tenants, fixing leaks, staying compliant with regulations. It can be quite hands-on.
So not exactly kicking back on a beach while the money rolls in.
Not usually, no. And income can be seasonal, like with student lets or holiday homes. We saw average UK buy-to-lets bringing in around $1,200 and $8,424 a month in late 2024, with yields hitting highs, but it varies hugely by location.
So is there a truly passive way to invest in property?
Yes, there is. That's where real estate investment trusts, or REITs, come in.
REITs?
Yeah. These are basically companies that own and manage big portfolios of property shopping centers, warehouses, office blocks. You buy shares in the REIT, just like any other stock.
And they pay dividends.
Exactly. They pass most of the rental income they collect onto shareholders as dividends. It gives you exposure to property returns, and it's liquid. You can buy and sell the shares easily.
What's the downside?
Well, like other dividends, they're usually taxed as income. And the value of the REIT shares can go up and down with the property market and the stock market generally.
Okay, that makes sense. Moving away from traditional investments now into the digital world, it feels like there are just incredible opportunities opening up online, doesn't it? Often mixing that upfront work with maybe longer-term passive potential.
It absolutely is. The digital space is fascinating for income generation. Think about digital products.
Like what?
Ebooks, downloadable templates, printables, maybe even software apps, stock music, or drone footage. The beauty is you create it once.
And sell it over and over.
Exactly. Profit margins can be really high because there's no physical inventory or shipping. But You do need to put in that significant upfront work to create a quality product, and then you need to market it effectively so people actually find it.
Right, the creation and the marketing.
Absolutely. And this leads us nicely into online courses, which are just a massive opportunity right now.
Massive how?
The e-learning market is huge. It was worth over $456 billion globally in 2023, and some projections see it hitting $1.3 trillion by 2030. It's a rapidly growing space, and there's definitely room for people to share their knowledge and benefit.
Okay, so if someone listening is thinking, right, I know something people might want to learn, how do I turn that into an online course?
Yeah.
Where do they even start? What's really crucial?
Good question. The very first step is finding your course idea. And honestly, you can often just share what you already know. There are definitely people out there eager to learn it.
Even if I think it's basic.
Sometimes, especially if it's basic. Or you could decide to learn something new yourself and then teach it once you're good at it. Look at platforms like Udemy. See what's popular. Could be anything from dog training to Excel skills to AI. And don't be put off if others are already teaching it. Your unique style, your way of explaining things, even just your personality that makes you different, people might specifically want to learn from you. It's about helping people, yes, but also creating something scalable.
Okay, so the idea is key. What about actually building it? The tech side. Sounds daunting.
It can seem it, but it's more accessible than you might think. You'll likely need a website, yeah, and then a specific course platform tool, maybe something like LearnDash that works with WordPress. These tools let you structure lessons, add quizzes, issue certificates.
And video. Do I need a fancy studio?
Definitely not. Good lighting and clear audio are more important than having a Hollywood setup. Your phone camera can be perfectly fine to start. Just avoid uploading big video files directly to your website. Use a service like YouTube, unlisted, or Vimeo. That keeps your site fast. And plan your course outline carefully. Break down your knowledge logically. Think headings, lessons, topics. Make it easy for people to follow.
Okay, build the course content. But then how do you actually sell it? How do you turn it into that, money-making machine without constantly hustling for sales?
Yes. That's where marketing and automation come in. This is absolutely key. First, build an email list.
Right from the start.
Ideally, yes. Use a coming soon page or pop-ups on your site to capture email addresses. Then use an email marketing tool, like Omnisend was mentioned in our sources, to set up automated sequences.
Like welcome emails.
Exactly. Welcome emails, maybe drip feeding some free tips or content, and eventually promoting your paid course. And critically, you need to test things. A/B test your subject lines, your email copy, see what gets the best response.
Test.
Always. Next up, sales funnels. Tools like cart flows can help here. The idea is to make the buying process super smooth and easy, often getting everything onto one page. Reducing friction is crucial for turning visitors into customers.
How do you get visitors in the first place?
Great question. Content marketing. Create valuable free content related to your course topic. Think YouTube videos, blog posts, short clips for TikTok or Instagram. Offer real value, help people, and then gently guide them towards your free introductory offer or your main course landing page.
So give value first.
Absolutely. And then split test everything. Your landing page design, your headlines, your offers, your button colors. Test different versions to see what converts best. If version B gets twice as many signups as version A, you use version B. And finally, automate your follow-up. Set up workflows for people who sign up for your free stuff to encourage them to buy the paid course, and workflows for paying customers to keep them engaged. The goal is automate, optimize, automate, optimize.
That sounds like a really powerful system when it's all working together. Okay, so whether you're selling crafts, running courses, or anything else, there's the practical stuff people often forget. Taxes, insurance, maybe even telling your boss. This raises a really important point. What do people need to keep in mind?
This is so important and often overlooked in the excitement. Let's talk tax rules, focusing on the UK here. Good news first. You can earn up to £1,000 a tax year from side hustles completely tax-free. That's the trading allowance.
Okay, £1,000 free.
Yep, on top of your personal allowance. But if your income from that side hustle goes over £1,000 in the tax year, you absolutely must register as self-employed with HMRC and declare it.
Okay, that's a clear line.
Very clear. And if you receive means-tested benefits like universal credit, you have to report all your income even if it's under £1,000.
Right. What about having multiple jobs, like a main job and a side hustle or 2 part-time jobs?
That can cause payroll pitfalls. Your second employer might use an emergency tax code by mistake, meaning you overpay tax. It happens a lot. Millions get refunded each year. So always check your tax code, check your pay slips. Contact HMRC if it looks wrong. Similarly, you could end up overpaying national insurance if you have multiple jobs or mix employment with self-employment. There are ways to claim that back too.
So keeping really good records sounds absolutely essential then.
Vital. Keep receipts for every single deductible expense. These are the legitimate costs of running your business or side hustle that you can subtract from your income before calculating tax.
Like what?
For a freelancer, maybe a laptop, software, travel costs. For a landlord, repairs, agent fees, some mortgage interest relief. Knowing what you can deduct can save you serious money. HMRC does do audits, so good records are your proof.
Makes sense. Be prepared.
Exactly. Also, think about timing your income if you have any control over it. The UK tax year runs April to April. Sometimes delaying a payment from March to April could keep you in a lower tax band for that year, potentially saving you quite a bit.
Clever. What about insurance?
Yeah, insurance needs depend on what you're doing. If you give advice, maybe professional indemnity insurance. If you interact with the public or go to people's homes, public liability insurance is probably wise. Cyber insurance might even be relevant for online businesses.
And the boss. Do you have to tell your employer?
Ah, yes, the big one. Check your employment contract. Seriously. Many contracts have clauses about outside work, especially if it could compete with your employer or use company resources.
So it might forbid side hustles altogether.
Some might, or they might require you to get permission. Even if it's allowed, if your side hustle crosses over with your main job in any way, you likely need to disclose it. Transparency is usually the best policy here, better than facing problems later.
Okay, really crucial practical points there. So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, the listener? We've covered a massive range today, from those quick ways to get extra cash now, right through to building potentially life-changing passive income streams.
I think the core takeaway really is that while passive income sounds incredibly appealing, like easy money, it almost always starts with a significant investment. That investment is either a lot of your time, a chunk of your capital, or very often both. The journey to building a substantial passive income, say, that £1,000 a month goal purely from passive sources, well, that can take years, maybe even decades. It really depends on the path you choose and the returns you get. For instance, our sources suggested building a £300,000 portfolio to safely draw £12,000 a year might take something like 20 years using typical investment funds or property, maybe a bit less with skillful stock picking, and longer with safer bonds or savings.
But it is possible. That's the exciting part, isn't it? It's about being informed, making smart choices, and I guess constantly learning and adapting as you go.
Absolutely. So thinking about everything we've explored today, from, flipping trainers to building an automated online course empire, what's maybe one small informed step you feel ready to take this week just to start building your income streams?